I've always had a pretty bad memory, or if not a bad memory, a pretty short-term one. I'll take a test and someone will ask me a week later what happened on it. It's not really guaranteed that I'll remember. So, like any other person my age who has a cell phone that can do pretty much anything, I take photos, I record videos, trying to remember all these things that are happening in my life for my future. But often I do wonder, am I remembering these things correctly? And if I'm not remembering them correctly, well, how does that change how I perceive my life and my memories and my identity? The Scottish philosopher David Hume argues that personal identity is nothing but a bundle or collection of different perceptions, which succeed each other with an inconceivable rapidity and are in perpetual flux and movement. Creating the idea of myself, therefore, according to him at least, is nothing more than taking a bunch of bundles of different memories and putting them all together to create a self. Or at least that's how I interpret it. This might just all be philosophical mumbo-jumbo, ramblings from an intro to philosophy class I took my freshman year. But, personally, it does bring up a lot of issues for me, What makes me me? And if I can't remember what happened to me last week, last year, last decade, well then what does continue to make me me? Now there are the facts that are down on paper. My name is Sophia Suazo. I was born on the 11th of February, 2001 in Plainview, New York. My parents are Maria and Milzen Suazo, and I have an older sister named Sarah, who's 3 years older than me. I also continue to live in the same house, which is the same place I've lived for 20 years, and although it's undergone some renovations, it's still the same place where all my memories are contained. Over my life, my parents have continued to record me and my sister's life through big bulky camcorders to their phones, from SD cards to high-8 cassette tapes. And my dad's photography was on at least 3 different cameras, including the film camera that I still use today for my own projects. But it's really the cassette tapes that really hit home for me, because even if I don't remember what's on them, those cassette tapes have some of the most crucial moments of my life on them. When I look back at those videos, logically I know that baby is me, but like most people, I don't remember the memories from when I was a baby. I'm not even really sure how far back I do remember. It's also funny seeing how my family were in these videos. When I was watching these back with my mom, one of the first things she said was that my sister was always mean to me. And obviously I don't remember that, and she's become much kinder over the years. But I think it was because she was so used to being an only child for the first 3 years of her life. I would be mean too to someone who took the attention away from me. And as I watch these videos recorded on a camcorder from the late 90s, transmitted onto my flat screen 4K TV, it's funny to think about how all these memories took place right down the hall from my bedroom, instead of taking place a world away as they seem to feel. And the same thing happens even when I see videos of myself from recently, even from high school, I'm quite lucky to have a friend who documented all the trips we went on in high school, so that sometimes when we talk about these things and I can't even remember them happening, there's at least some videos of me smiling and enjoying myself and spending time with my friends the way I don't really get to do anymore. Not to get philosophical again, but there is this theory that I really like that comes from Julian Baggini, a modern philosopher, who wrote this article for the Huffington Post a few years ago. In it, he argues, along with Roger Ames, that it's not the idea of human beings, the singular identity that we should be so obsessed with, but rather human becoming, that our identities are not fixed, they never will be fixed, and that we will continue to evolve over our lifetimes. I really like this theory because it aligns with my ideas that I'm not the same person I was 20 years ago. I'm not even really the same person I was 2 years ago. But that's not to say I didn't come from there, that those people, those versions of me, didn't influence the person I'd be today. To be honest with you, if you were to ask Sophia from high school what she thought about philosophy, she wouldn't care and would move on pretty quickly. But I think the thing that are most similar between her and I is that we continue to form these core memories that influence how we think about ourselves in the future. And if we continue to make an effort on becoming rather than just being, well then I think maybe we'd be able to become the best version of ourselves.
we are recording.